O'Neill, if they get switches, be able to match up with them. And obviously Daniel Vila can play so well, reigning Defensive Player of the Year. He's always fun to watch on the defensive end.
We are underway with the Phoenix mascot of the Garnet looking on at center court, and now the Garnet dressed in the home whites work into the offensive set. Good look for Connor Harkins, and we're underway here at Tarble Pavilion.
Yeah, it's always good for the Garnet when Harkins can find his shot early. He struggled a little bit with it last night in the first half, ended up finishing 4 of 10 from beyond the arc in that game. So the fact that he's hitting those shots early, that'll be key for the Garnet.
Wiley first on the floor defensively, trying to get the 50-50 ball. Now O'Neill to the basket, too strong. Great contest at the rim by Nate Schaefer.
There's that matchup early between O'Neill and Schaefer that you're excited to see from a physical standpoint.
George Visconti, nothing but twine, and it's 6-0 Garnet just like that. Running the break, Cam Wiley, and George Visconti finding his favorite spot on the perimeter.
So many times we've talked about this year how this starting lineup for the Garnet can put points on the board early. What Hopkins loves to do is slow down the tempo.
Daniel Vila with a finger to the mouth to shush the Garnet crowd after hitting a corner three. And the way this has started, this is going to be fun, Jacob.
Yeah, I mean, they're both playing pretty open, loose basketball so far. Garnet's starting to slow things down a little bit now in their half-court set, but that's generally not how Hopkins plays. I doubt that this game will end up going in that way.
Nate Schaefer so calm and controlled as Daniel Vila was trying to poke at the ball from behind. 8-3 Garnet early, perfect from the field, 2 of 2 from deep. Man-to-man defense for the Garnet dressed in the white. A lot of high ball action, and Fitzpatrick to the rim, blocked by Nate Schaefer. Visconti. Good patience there from Visconti. Thought about launching the three. Now Wiley gets into the lane. Great look for Odell. Tees it up and hits. 4 for 4 early on from the Garnet, and Zach Odell getting in on the action from the corner.
Yeah, I've not seen Zach Odell shoot a three in a while. Only took 23 this year, but that's huge to keep the momentum going in their favor.
Curran off the screen. Recovering is Odell. Great job to close out on O'Neill because he can be so dangerous. Gardner nearly poked away by Wiley. 4 to shoot. Gardner's going to have to heave one at the horn. And that's tremendous defense from the Garnet for 30 seconds.
So here's the thing. Whenever Gardner takes a shot like that, you expect it's going in because that's the kind of player he is. And if he finds his shot, I think that Hopkins will be right back in this game.
That's tremendous defense, though, and you'll take that type of low percentage look if you're the Garnet every time. That's a high percentage look for Zach Odell, and it's an early 10-point lead and a timeout for Josh Leffler.
Yeah, definitely not the start Josh Leffler wanted from his team here. That's what's working.
Landry Kosmowski in his 7th year coaching the Swarthmore Garnet. He's improved every single year. 3 years ago, they were a team that had to go on the road for the conference tournament. They made it to the final and lost in dramatic fashion to Franklin and Marshall. Vila cuts to the hole and finishes. 2 years ago, they defeated Dickinson and won their first ever Centennial Conference title, made it to the round of 32 in the NCAA tournament. Last year, it was a loss here in the conference tournament, but the Garnet then just picked up the momentum again, went to the round of 8. That's last touched by Fitzpatrick. It'll stay with the Garnet. So now this year, all they've done is won a program record 22 regular season games, tack on one more with the win against Washington College last night. They're looking for their second ever conference championship in their 4th consecutive appearance. And then the question mark is, how far can they go in the NCAA tournament?
I mean, if you look at how they've done over the past 2 seasons, they've improved by 2 rounds each time. So I guess the expectation is you got to make it to the national championship or else it's a lost season.
Tucker didn't get the shot off. A couple of freshmen there had the ball with under 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and perhaps just one of those freshman mistakes, not understanding the time on the clock. But a good defensive possession by Johns Hopkins. They're down by 8. 15:50 to play. A back screen inside Gardner. Pretty good defense by Salah. Kern on the drive. Braden Johnson tees it up and hits. Braden Johnson has continued to improve over the course of the year. A blend of athleticism and the ability to hit the shot from deep.
Yeah, he did quite well last night, especially. Played 27 minutes off the bench, 4 of 7 from the field, 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. So he's gotten very important minutes for this team and helping them to make it this far in the conference tournament.
Shaw launches the 3 and hits it. So the Garnet take a little bit of a punch here from Hopkins as they go to his zone out of the timeout. That 3-2 look that you rarely see, Jacob, and they break it down exquisitely. Good look from Shaw. That's how you do it, though. You get it to the middle of the zone. Abbas Salah, such a good passer. Now a high pass for Kern. 12 seconds for Ralby as he drives. Keeps the pivot foot. Kern in NBA range 3. In and out. And Nate Schaefer is called for the foul. Nickel Dimer inside. They said Schaefer didn't turn around to box out early enough, but again, a quick whistle there as he and Vila just bang away inside. If that one's going to be a foul, that's going to be interesting to see what type of contact is going to be allowed tonight or whether it'll be one of those games where you're hearing a lot of whistles. Yeah. Gardner, a tough 3. Vila inside and he finishes. Ralby got the tip on the initial rebound.
Foul trouble has been a little bit of an issue for both of these teams as of late. Vila ended up on 4 fouls last night, had to sit out the last couple minutes of that game. I believe Schaefer also last night ended up on 4 fouls, maybe Odell as well. So for the bigs, that'll be an important thing to watch.
Connor Harkins a little short on the 3. Good box out by Johnson. Here comes Joey Kern. Kern with a drive inside. Back cutting is Ralby, nearly traveled with it. Now Gardner to the basket. Good work weaving by the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays, and they trail by 4.
Yeah, that's just great movement there. You get the initial Ralby back cut along the baseline, handoff to Gardner going the other way. You end up getting a little bit of contact between defenders, gives Gardner enough space to get up for that shot.
Odell back for Wiley. Another 3. Good! And the Swarthmore Garnet are on fire from beyond the arc thus far.
Yeah, only 1 missed three-pointer so far, 5 of 6 overall. Those certainly aren't sustainable numbers, but it's a good way to start a game against Hopkins.
Kern with the basketball, takes a ball screen. Patience now back for Ralby. Hand in the face, pretty good defense there from Visconti on the closeout. Now back into the man-to-man. Hopkins very adept at switching into and out of defenses. Ingram at the top of the key. Harkins is open. 9 seconds. Poked away. Odell gets it back. Ingram launches. No good. And voracious defense that time by Johns Hopkins.
But what good hands there by Zach Odell. Vila got it poked away, then Gardner poked it away, and both times Odell was able to come up with the ball, keep the possession alive.
2-man basketball on the other end from Johns Hopkins as Vila and Kern. Now that's short from Odell. Visconti got a hand on it, but Gardner comes up with it. Johns Hopkins has withstood the initial barrage, and Cam Wiley pulls it away from Gardner up ahead of the defense. And he does that so well, Jacob. Another steal for Wiley. He's one of those guys that you just don't want to see defending you. Give him 25 steals on the year.
And you look at the way he just runs the floor there. Oftentimes, he'll have a defender that he's got to beat. That time he has a completely open floor, but either way, he does it so easily.
Vila pushed off, it wasn't called. Shane Leffler, the assistant coach of Swarthmore, letting the referee know about it. And again, that's one, if Vila is able to get away with that, certainly he has size and physicality, and that's why the coaching staff of Swarthmore was right on that when it occurred.
Yeah, I mean, he just put the shoulder down into Odell, pushed him the wrong way, turned back. Was a nice move if he had kept it clean.
They're denying Cam Wiley on the handoff. Visconti. Ryan Ingram high off the rim, and it stays inbounds. Gardner comes down with it. 9 minutes into this one, and what a great matchup we have. Visconti, I thought that was a kick. It wasn't called. All the way to the rim, and he's fouled by Noah Ralby. And look at Josh Leffler. He is incensed.
I'm inclined to agree with him.
It's tough to not.
Yeah. I thought Ralby got nothing but ball there.
Oh, well, he's actually incensed about the kick ball.
On the kick, okay, that too.
Ralby, I would say,
well,
was
he's definitely on the kick.
I thought Ralby was riding Visconti on the way down. Certainly, he did get the ball.
Yeah.
Was there body contact lower? I thought there was. But, yeah, less arguable
right,
is
than the kick, yes.
Visconti with a lot of noise here in his home gym after that call. Settles in, makes the first, and misses the second. 22-16. Garnet lead over Johns Hopkins. A high level of basketball being played here this evening, and a tremendous start for the Garnet, Jacob. Now a lot of off-ball movement for Hopkins. Skip pass for Braden Johnson, launches and hits. Braden Johnson is 2 for 2 from 3 tonight, continuing his hot start from last night. Visconti on the other end with the answer.
It's exactly how you got to respond. One guy hits a 3 at one end with Harkins in his face nonetheless, and Visconti showing the poise as a freshman just to pull up, hit that 3.
What a play by Nate Schaefer, and able to get it out of the double team. Great look for Harkins. Bang! 28-19, and the Garnet are alive from the perimeter here tonight.
And in some way, you have to feel a little bad for Hopkins. Their defense may be a little questionable at some points. They haven't been closing out well on some of these threes. They've been leaving guys open on the perimeter who they know are good shooters, but at the same time, it's very rare, even when shots are this open for the Garnet, that they're going to nail so many of them, and they've been doing it.
Shot clock violation, Garnet basketball. Tremendous defense on that possession by the Garnet. And back to your point about Hopkins and who to cover. A lot of times with the Garnet on these turnovers by Hopkins, they're getting the ball up the floor so quickly. And that's a great job by Landry Kosmalski and the team, because when you're facing a zone defense, the worst thing you can do is allow that zone to set up. So they moved down the floor quickly on that last possession. Salah made a defender commit by the penetration, left Connor Harkins wide open, and that's not the right guy to leave open. Salah inside, back iron, no. But again, a great look by the Garnet to get it right to the center of that 3-2 zone. Fitzpatrick races by Schaefer, and a good finish.
Yeah, what speed there from Fitzpatrick just to get around the edge. I think they're going to have to keep him on the floor more to match up with these speedy Garnet players.
Connor Harkins doesn't draw any iron. He is on fire here tonight. And that ball is getting well acquainted with the nylon hanging from the cylinder.
Again, the Garnet keeping up this frenetic pace, 31 points in 12 minutes. Not quite as high as it was looking in those first 4 minutes, but
turnover as Fitzpatrick got ahead of himself. Looked like he wanted to bang into Salah and take the contact. Salah backed away. Give him credit. A veteran play is just a sophomore at the right time, and kind of let Fitzpatrick fall on his own.
Yeah, exactly. If you know a guy is looking for that contact with you, just let him get out of control. Don't take the contact. Let him commit the travel there.
Not a lot of room to find a seat here at Tarbell Pavilion. An unbelievable atmosphere, Jacob.
Students definitely showing up in force. You always love to see the crowd here and getting the chants going.
Harkins can't hit that one. Offensive rebound for Schaefer. Looks inside for Shaw. Shaw is blocked by Vila. Well timed. Under 8 to go first half. Vila guarded on the outside. Ralby goes back to the basket. Too strong. Good defense by Harkins. Again, watch the Garnet here. They're moved down the floor quickly, trying to get down before the defense can set up. Harkins keeps firing. In and out. The Garnet are 8 for 14 from distance so far. Fitzpatrick tees it up. Too long. Good box out there by the freshman Shaw, and one of the best rebounders in the league, Daniel Vila. Wiley launches. Too strong. That one, the least bit of a heave, I would say, is the Garnet maybe getting a little bit three-happy. 15 three-point attempts in the first 13-plus minutes.
Yeah, definitely a bold shot there. Had Ralby all over him.
Vila faces up, gets inside. Tough finish, and it doesn't go. Schaefer bumped into by Vila, no call. Wiley on the drive. Thought he was hit as he shot, no good. Looked like he kind of felt contact and tried to throw it up and didn't get the call. 31-21, and both defenses tightening the screws a little bit here with 6+ minutes in the first half. Now Vila, great position inside, and the foul is called against Schaefer before the travel. Schaefer picks it to have in there against Vila.
Yeah, I mean, especially against Vila, he's such a physical player. It can be tough a lot of the time to defend him well without getting into foul trouble.
Gardner stepped on the sideline, well defended by Salah. Again, both defenses, Jacob, settling in a little bit. Garnet were at 28 points at just a shade under 10 minutes to play in the first half. Hopkins was at 19 at that time. Over the last about 4 minutes, Garnet have scored 3 points and Johns Hopkins 2. A little different than the first 10 minutes, won't you say?
Yeah, I mean, you see it, both teams slowing it down, letting the shot clock run down.
Salah with a wild one and a rebound by Tucker. The Garnet able to reset.
Great job there by Tucker. Just was completely free there to run in and grab that. Bad job on the box out.
Let's see if the Garnet can get the ball to the hoop a little bit. Tucker will do that. Cutting is Odell and emphatically puts it home.
And that's just a fantastic job. Tucker initiating that by putting the ball on the floor, driving. We haven't seen that from him as much as we would like. And when he does that, he can open up that back cut that Zach Odell had.
Zach Odell certainly fouled him there. He got all ball up top, but there was a ton of body contact. That's his first. Again, you don't want to see the big men continuing to get into foul trouble, but that's a foul. Listen, these guys have played against Daniel Vila in Odell's case for 3 years. They know how physical he is. That's a way, I think, by Odell, sending him sprawling to the floor like that on a clean foul to say, okay, big man, I'm here too, and it's going to be a physical night for you as well.
I mean, I think you got to set the tone in a way, obviously not go out of your way to cause damage, but definitely show him you're not going to be free to sort of do whatever you want down in the paint.
1 of 2 for Daniel Vila. And that's part of the reason there's a great rivalry here. And I don't know well enough to say whether these guys like or don't like each other, but I do know there's a respect amongst these programs. Visconti pulled away from behind. Great play by Gardner. And Gardner gets a steal as well.
That's just heads-up defense right there, seeing an opportunity, coming in from the blind side, poke that ball away.
Gardner's 20th steal of the year. triple team against Odell, and Ralby with the active hands pulls it away. Another turnover in as many possessions. Ralby in the lane and will pull it back. I think a big defensive possession here for the Garnet. Kern inside, tough shot. Good defense by Visconti. No reset of the shot clock. There's 11 to shoot. Braden Johnson too long. Here comes Salah the other way, and he's pulled at by Braden Johnson. Pretty good job by Abbas Salah. There was contact there, but just to show it, I'll say.
Yeah.
Especially to donate. If you're not local and you can't make the event, donations are certainly welcome and encouraged. Visit RyanAnsellBasketball.com. That's Ansel, A-N-S-E-L. RyanAnsellBasketball.com. You can pick up a flyer if you're here in the lobby. Visconti pulls up and hits. Kind of lulled Braden Johnson to sleep, and this rose up, Jacob.
Yeah, and he can make shots like those so easy, has such a quick release, gets rid of the ball very quickly, and Johnson, as you said, was lulled to sleep, and even if he had been active, I'm not sure he would have gotten up for a challenge on that.
Harry O'Neill called for the moving screen. That's a point of emphasis. It started 3 years ago in college basketball where, again, I don't think that's quite made its way to the NBA, that point of emphasis, but they really want to make sure that people aren't leaving the scene early or getting there late. Harkins inside, great catch and finish, allowing Gardner to blow by as he was beat on the back cut. Gardner visibly upset with himself as he goes down the floor, but again, if you're Hopkins, that's what you open yourself up to defensively if you're going to have to guard the perimeter so tightly on a guy like Connor Harkins. Fitzpatrick on the wing, 12 to shoot for Gardner. O'Neal, now Ralby, all the way to the basket, he's blocked. They reset the shot clock, they shouldn't have. And O'Neal finished it. Scorers table reset the shot clock. It was going to be close. I think if you redo that time, it still would have gotten off just in time, but O'Neal had a lot more to work with. And Wiley, what a move. Just a hesitation and then fire to the hole.
It's a rather roundabout way of getting to the basket, but he just dodges right around the defense. Great agility there from him. Gets to the basket on the other side. Easy finish.
Gardner, too long on the three. Johnson brings it down. Fitzpatrick, and now here come the Garnet. Couldn't save it off the foot of Ingram. Wiley. And they'll reset. 13-point lead for the Garnet. Wiley with a man in his face. Doesn't matter. Garnet lead by 16. Timeout called by Josh Leffler. And sometimes, if you're a team on defense playing a guy like six are very important for the Garnet. You know, Hopkins has been able to cut leads at the end of halves when they've struggled earlier in the year. This is the Garnet's largest lead of the game with that last three by Wiley. Can the Garnet close the job? Ralby, open three. Back iron no good, and Kern gets the long rebound. New shot clock for Hopkins. Vila inside, a skip pass. Gardner has it now on the drive and kick. Kern, a corner three. Visconti, and a foul is called against Joey Kern. I think Visconti thought that Salah was going to grab that rebound, and once it hops, it was Visconti first to the ball. Kern came over the top. That's the first against Joey Kern. Pretty light foul night, which again, with these two teams and the physicality with which both of them play, a little bit surprising. 4 for Hopkins, 3 for Swarthmore.
Yeah, certainly compared to last night in that Washington College game where the Shoremen got into the bonus due to Garnet fouls within about the first 10 minutes of each of the two halves. So much cleaner game in spite of the physicality, and perhaps that speaks to the referees here giving a little bit more of an allowance to the style of play.
Shaw got to put it up at the horn, and he banks it home. Colin Shaw, use of the pivot foot, able to just squirt his way through and create a little bit of room.
Yeah, I don't know how he kept that down there, just spinning around to free up the space, and what a tough finish.
And they effectively went 2 for 1, Jacob, as well, by taking that shot clock all the way down. Johnson on the drive, poked away, and Wiley has it. They can hold for the last shot. 18-point lead for the Garnet. Could it be more? Wiley at the Garnet logo, guarded by Joey Kern.
And I imagine this is a Cam Wiley ISO.
Wiley to the rim, and he finishes it. And that'll be the end of the first half. Garnet lead by 20 at home. Johns Hopkins has been